It's evening time. You sit down and you open up YouTube and you're bombarded with self-improvement videos. As you're going through it, you're nodding your head thinking, that one doesn't seem too bad. Oh, I could try that one. So you pick out 10 pieces of advice that you need to do. After a while, you begin to realize that some are not really working for you. You're not really seeing the benefit. You start getting overwhelmed, which leads you to give up. The negative thoughts start pouring in, I can't do this. You feel like you know what you need to do or you know what needs to be done, but you just can't seem to bring yourself to do it. It's just too much. There gets to a point where you've consumed so much self-improvement content that you almost have a plethora of tips and tricks you have now associated with learning, growth, success, and improvement. Each of these have been justified by the creator or by the author, and now that you need to do it. Otherwise, you fail. You need to get up 5 a.m. You need to go monk mode. You need to go for a run every morning. You need to read books. You need to quit social media. But after you've been in the game long enough, you begin to drown out all the noise, all the empty words, and you begin to realize what has the biggest impact on you, because we are all different. What works for someone might not particularly work for you. Someone may get some really good benefits from vision boarding. Me personally, it don't work. When you see what does work for you, you could begin to lay the foundations of what you should focus on and what you should prioritize. And maybe there are some other things that will provide additional benefits, that's fine, but you can be confident that if you follow these things, you're good, you're set, it can take you very, very far. And to keep things short, I'm gonna tell you what mine are. So my number one is identity shift, and I'll be a bit loose on what it means, but it's essentially acting as if I'm already the person that I want to become. And to be more specific and to give you more context on what I mean, I want to be a problem solver, someone who overcomes obstacles, who can make stuff happen, who gets shit done. I remember I used to write down my future vision or future version of myself, whether that's 1 year or 10 years down the future, what I'd like to have, what I'd like to be, what I'd like to have done. And it got to a point where I'm reading some of these and thinking, I can be that right now. There's actually nothing stopping me. And so slowly I just started acting as if I was that person, and I kind of adopted the slogan, just do it, which it helped a lot. For example, I'd always wanted a desk in my room. And one day I said, I got out the measuring tape, I measured up my whole room, I reorganized it, and I managed to fit a desk in there. Now this started a snowball effect, because now I wanted a computer because I had the desk. Well, I solve problems. Let me go build my own computer. I wanted to try YouTube or streaming, and now I've got this set up. I'm a problem solver. Let me make do with the resources I got, and let me try get a little setup, which led to the creation of my first channel, which eventually led to me getting 4,000 subs, maybe over 1 million views, which led to the creation of this video with this channel. My future vision, I was a more confident person. You know what? I'm gonna start acting confident. And I'm not trying to say I wasn't confident before, but I started making a conscious effort to act confident. And I can tell you right now, my confidence has gone up. I wanted to be the person that was in shape or not overweight. I'm gonna go gym, and don't worry about that one. But the point is, I stopped waiting and shifted my identity to be the person I wanted to be. And it's had probably the biggest impact on my life. Why? Because I've done stuff out of my comfort zone. I've done new things. I've challenged habits and made new habits. I've broken routine. But most importantly, this identity shift allowed me to take concrete action that got shit done. You want to be the person that reads. You pull out a book and you read. You've done action. Wow. Now, speaking of reading, that is the second one. Now, reading is probably the first thing I did consciously as part of my self-improvement journey, starting back in 2017. Prior to this, all I really read was stuff when I was in school, of Mice and Men, or my textbook. I read some subtitles. I started off reading the mainstream self-help books, the Rich Dad, Poor Dads, the How to Win Friends and Influence People, and say what you will about them books. They really opened my eyes to some stuff. Despite being in university at the time, I'd never really considered my future, what it looked like, what I'd like to be, until I started reading these books. And then I really and truly found out that the reason for why I was in uni was it was simply the next step. It was just the next process in life. But since then, I've read a lot more books, and I've grown so much as a person because of it. My perspective on things have changed. How I see myself and how I see other people have changed. I've become a deeper thinker. I think I'm a much more interesting person. I have so much more love and appreciation for art, for life. And I must admit, I like the person I am now in terms of my mentality and my mindset. I think I'm a very open person. I feel like I'm very honest. I'm very accepting of people, and I wouldn't have got to this point without reading. And as much as I like the conventional self-help books, it was actually other books that really had the biggest impact. Books like Sapiens or The Power of Now, which can be considered self-help, Arnold Schwarzenegger's biographies, or even something like a graphic novel like The Sandman. I think they've all just added to my character and my thinking that it's invaluable. Started me off on my journey and it maintains it. Honestly, I'm so grateful for it. The third one is deep, focused work. I don't remember when I first came across this concept, but I became more conscious of it after reading Cal Newport's Deep Work. Hey, that's another point for reading. Now, prior to this, of course, I had periods where I was completely focused on something, whether that was uni work, whether that was learning coding, but it wasn't until I read that book that I adopted it and recognized it as its own thing, as something independent. But deep, focused work is so powerful because the amount of things you can get done and the quality of the stuff you can get done in a short amount of time is almost like a superpower. I've done some of my best work when completely focused. I've made the biggest progress when completely focused. And it isn't just necessarily about productivity. It also has profound mental effects because you feel so good. When you get in that flow state, nothing can stop you. You are so focused, time will just fly by. And when you look back at it after, you are so proud because even if you've only worked for half an hour, you put so much effort into it. The stuff you've made most likely is going to be of great quality. When I say, you know what, I've got X, Y, and Z, I'm going to focus on X. Cut out everything. I power through it. And even at the end of the day, say I don't get to do Z, I've done X and Y to the highest quality I possibly could. I get shit done. Exercise is the last one, and it's probably my most recent addition to my life. I've been cultivating the habit for about a year and a bit now. It was something I've always wanted to do. It's something I've always needed to do. But I've either just been too lazy or too afraid to just get up and go gym and start working out. But starting to work on my body has had some serious mental benefits, from the way I perceive myself, my confidence, my goals in life. Knowing that I'm actively working on myself and the current form I'm in right now is not my final form is so nourishing and encouraging. Yeah, I may be a bit overweight, I got a little belly, but that doesn't matter because I'm actively taking steps to get rid of it. I'm actively bettering myself and I'm seeing changes, I'm seeing progress, I'm feeling better. I'm taking the necessary steps to get to where I want to be. Through exercising, I've been able to start taking responsibility of my body. I've been getting stronger, I've been getting faster, more endurance, more lively. I'm getting healthier. And it's a great feeling, know that you are making progress, even in maybe some other areas of life might not be going as you want. I could look back and say, you know what, I've made the habit of exercising all the time. Like, I feel so accomplished when I go to gym. When I'm there, it clears my head. It motivates me to do other things. It gives me a sense of achievement. And when I'm at the gym or I've just finished a workout, I feel like I could take on the world. And once you have that feeling, obstacles are not really anything. And yeah, that's it. I'll give an honorable mention to journaling. And the reason I haven't put it here is because I don't know the benefits just yet. I feel like it's a hindsight one, you know, something I'll notice maybe further down the line. But I've been journaling since 2017, right? I write down the same things in my journal now that I did 5-6 years ago. So it's hard to evaluate whether this journaling process has helped me because at some point I still feel like I'm at the same spot I was. One benefit I can say is a lot of the times when I am feeling overwhelmed or feeling like I don't know what direction I need to go on, I do fall back on journaling just to get all that clutter out my mind and put it on a piece of paper. If I need to come back and review, I can, but sometimes you just need to spit all that nonsense out. But yeah, those are the things that I find are my most important self-improvement advice, habits, or whatever that has helped me the most. This is not for you to follow. If you want to follow, it's up to you. I'm just telling you my foundations. If you found similarities, go ahead. This ain't advice. This ain't tips. No one's forced you to do nothing. I'm just giving you my perspective. Maybe you can relate. Thank you very much. We out.